I'll give you a bang in your chin and you're gonna drop.
Winner by
Armz,
TKO,
Korleone,
the Asante
bodybuilder,
Warrior.
social media influencer, boxer, and rapper.
I came from the mud and I came from nothing.
From falling into the wrong crowd and being arrested at 16.
Bruv, it was just violence, and don't know, you bust a mad move, violence was involved, shit, helicopter, run.
What prison like for you?
It was fun.
Armz used bodybuilding as his outlet to get away from the roads.
It's artwork for me, it's almost like meditation.
Despite finding himself
The whole life out there, you can do whatever you want and you can still be successful. I want to be the guidance that I never had for these youths.
trouble and adversity was only around the corner.
All back. Come on, bro. Let's go.
Misfits boxer Armz Korleone suspended for 4 years due to massive drug debt.
Never taken steroids.
Never taking steroids. Put the money where your mouth is, and you can test me any day, any time. He's not my friend or my enemy. Shut the fuck up now. Let's just get up in the ring and show out with the fist.
Call me a snitch.
Yeah.
Calling me a snitch.
So listen, Armz, who do you want to fight next?
Definitely bouncer. It's got to be a bouncer thing.
Before we jump into today's episode, we've noticed that 71% of people watching right now are not subscribed. If you're watching this, you're clearly enjoying it. Here's our promise to you. Hit subscribe and we'll keep raising the bar, bringing you the biggest and best guests yet. Sharper conversations, bigger guests, and unfiltered conversations that others won't dare to do. Hit subscribe now. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the BlueTick show. Opposite me today, I've got Armz Korleone, the biggest guest on the show yet. Physically, the biggest guest.
Thank you, fam.
How are you, my brother?
I'm grateful to be here. Thank you for getting me on your show. You get me? How's your family, dog?
Everyone's all well.
Yeah.
Everyone's all good.
We
How are
good
you?
friends.
How's the gym?
Gym is great, man. You know, gym is such a great place for me, so I can't complain. Everything nice. Listen, I got great health, fam. I'm able to rise up in the morning and go do what I need to do, so I'm nice. You get me? I give thanks. You feel me?
100%, my brother.
Done
Big
on
you
my
up,
day.
firstly.
Yeah, big up to you, man. Do you train?
I train. I've not been training
When you're
recently.
disciplined, yeah?
I try.
You have to be.
I try my best.
Yeah.
I try my best.
I hear you, man. That's all we want.
Listen, Armz.
Yes, my G.
I want to hear about your life.
Yeah.
I know you've been on a few podcasts. I know you told your story.
Yeah,
we like to do it different here.
100%.
I want to take it back to your childhood, your upbringing, what made you get into the gym,
Yeah.
what kept you off the roads. Because listen,
Yeah.
man of your size,
How'd you know I was on the roads? How'd you know? Does it give it away? Like,
I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't want to walk down the dark alley and see you there.
I'm a teddy bear, man, honestly. Yeah, but I feel you. Yeah. So where do I begin, man, bruv? I came up from humble beginnings, bruv. You get me? First and foremost, I was going to shout out my mumsy, man. My mumsy was the real G in this thing. You know what I'm saying? I could easily sit here and be like, man came from the mud, whatever. First and foremost, I was born in a place called Kumasi, Crowthorne to be exact. I came from the village, bruv. You know what I'm saying? I came from. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but my mum made sure that I had everything I needed to survive. You know what I mean? She was out here just grafting. You get me? So I get that grafting spirit from my mumsy. No matter what, no matter where you are in life, no matter how much you're backed into a corner, man have to just grit and graft. You get me? So that was from my mum.
Is that where the discipline comes
That's
from?
where the discipline comes from, and I come from my culture in general is a culture of discipline. You know what I'm saying? I come from the Asante tribe, and the Asante tribe is, the name itself means because of war. So my tribe are very much big on discipline. I mean, I remember coming back from school. You know, here I came to the Western world, and it's like you're a dad, you're a mum. It wasn't like that. It was you have to salute your elders.
For real?
Yes, blood. If you don't do that shit, you're getting
Long day.
Yeah, long day for you, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I come from. That's my background, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I could say and be like I came from the mud and I came from nothing, but I did actually come from a lot because my mum made sure that I was possible, you know what I'm saying? My mum put
you on the right path.
Put me on the right path, blood, and she put food on my table when she starved herself to make sure that I was fed, you know what I'm saying? So I want to start off by just picking up my mum every day, every time. Big respect to her. And yeah, man, I guess I had a great childhood because I was none the wiser. As a youth, you're just out here, you know what I'm saying? I live in Ghana, like I'm left to my own devices because my mum is out there hustling, you know what I'm trying to say? And I live with my grandma. My grandma was looking after me, so I'm left to my own devices, gallivanting, you know, fighting out here with my friends, so to speak. I've never, as far as I can remember, I've never really had friends, you know what I'm saying? I've just had people around me.
Is that been your decision or you just didn't trust anyone?
It's not even that because as a youth, like honestly, when I lived in Ghana as a child, as a baby, I had no concept of trust. I was so ignorant. I lived in blissful ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Like if let me go back, like let me think now, like I had no concept of nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was just I was just being. I was just flowing, do you know what I mean? So it wasn't like a choice or because I didn't trust people. I wasn't that way inclined. It wasn't in my nature. I was living in my truest nature, you know what I'm saying? I had no concept of the world. It was only when my mum brought me to the UK, to London, that I began to take on these concepts, these
How old
Western
was you when you
concepts.
come to the UK?
I was 9.
9 years old?
Yeah. So obviously, as you can imagine, again, you have to understand that I didn't come from the normal father and mother household. You know what I'm saying? My mum was a lone soldier, a lone wolf. You know
was
what I'm
the
saying?
mum and the dad.
Exactly. I don't know my father. You get what I'm saying? So, excuse me. Like, there was no guidance to do certain things. You know what I mean? Like, my psychology is different to someone who has grown up in a mother and father household. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
My childhood was so different. So my psychology, of course, is different. You know what I'm saying? So being in this Western world, it was so mad different for me because there was no awareness of nothing.
When you come to the UK and you was going to school and you were seeing the normal household, the mum, the dad together, how did it affect you?
No, it was mad. It was actually crazy. That's actually mad that you asked me that, because there's been times where I've reflected on my life and I'm like, raw, like, I remember when I've seen people and their fathers, like children and their fathers, and I'm like, oh, how come I ain't got that?
Yeah.
Do you get me? But that's when I was young. Now, with the level of awareness I have now, I'm like, I understand why. And that's when people talk about their families and their fathers and their mothers and the relationship they have with them, I'm like, that's so beautiful, because I never got to experience that. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately for me, I got a son. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've never even wanted use. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted, I fought these kids' blood. You know what I'm saying? But we give thanks, you know, my son came, and although I am not the father I wish to be for him, I have given him what I never had. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm out here grinding, but I've given him the time. As a baby, I've held him. He slept next to me. I've been on my bike with him, and we're like riding on a canal in the summertime, and I'm like, you control the speed and I'll control the thing. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, that's beautiful experiences that I never had. You know what I mean? So it fills me with joy to have given him that. And when other people talk about their families and whatnot, I'm like, sick. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, there was a point where I was like, oh man, you know what I mean? That's where a lot of my anger came from. I saw as a youth, man. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, but I never knew that. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't aware. But when I've sat down and reflected within myself, and I've dug deep and I've connected the dots as to why I'm so fiery, or where my anger is coming from. Because sometimes, you know, your anger is misplaced. You think that this is what's causing your anger, but it's actually that one. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I've understood myself, and I'm like, cool. And I'm able to channel myself in a much more diplomatic way. You get me?
I hear you.
Yeah.
You previously said to me, I'm not the father I wish to be for my son.
Yeah.
You didn't grow up without a dad.
Yeah.
Now you've reflected back on your life. You look at it and think, you know what, I wish I did have that.
Yeah.
Why haven't you put all your time and effort into being the best dad you can be?
Yeah, because I just want to make dough, fam. I can't lie. I just want to make my money, fam. Like, I don't want to be like, I could easily, you know, when my son before he was born, I was shook. You know, when I got the news, I was like, oh shit, that's going to take me off my path. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the case. And I like my mum, my life has become a bit like my mum's life at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because for a precious part of my life, I never saw my mother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So the concept of a father has always been alien to me anyway. So I don't care about that. Even though I don't care about it, I still look at I still see people, and I'm like, raw, like, that's not even me. But I don't care. Do you know what I mean? So with my mum not being there, I've now kind of like, it's become me a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, I wanna hustle. I wanna go and make my dough. I wanna live the life I wanna live. And I don't wanna, even though man could be like, but this you just wants your time. Yeah, I've given him the time, but at the same time, there's a certain level of giving that I want to give to him, and I can't do that if I'm just brass, bruv. If I'm a waste man, cuz. So I need to be on my dean, cuz. You know the ones there. I need to be out here grinding. I don't wanna end up like doing 9 to 5 because it's not me. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't wanna big up people that do 9 to 5 and in the office and whatnot. I'm not trying to insult anyone for grinding, but that's not me. I don't want to build up anyone's like, you want
to be your own man.
I want to be my own man, fam. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it takes a little bit of a sacrifice, and unfortunately, I've had to sacrifice that. And plus, when you have an uncultured baby mum, so to speak, it just happens. You got a baby mum that uses your son as a weapon, bruv. It's, you know what I mean? You just gotta just go with the ebbs and flows of life. You know what I'm trying to say? So this is the case.
How old was you when you had your son?
I don't even remember because I was 20 something, in my 20s, man, like early 20s or something. You know what I mean? And as at the time I was doing security, I remember, fam, like I was in the doors, and I used to work in the doors in the club, innit? You get me? And I got the news. I was like, shit, then. You know what I'm trying to say? I was like, shit, then.
Was that like a massive reality check for you?
Yeah, 100%. Because I've always been this shoot. Like, I don't want no use. I don't care for that lifestyle. I don't care to be in that reality. I just want to do my time in life, live my experience, and get the fuck on, bruv. You know
so before having your son, you never had that. Nah, I wanna have a kid. I wanna pass it on. Nothing like that.
It means nothing to me, fam.
Seriously,
no, fam.
For you, it was just I want to make money.
I just want to make my dough, live my life, have my experiences, and get the fuck on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
For real?
Yeah. Because honestly, yeah.
You know, when you say that though, I'm gonna be honest with you, like brother to brother, I think that's really sad.
Yeah.
Like in the sense as like for me,
yeah,
I want to build an empire so that I got something to look at my family and say, you know what, this is for you lot. Be proud of me.
Yeah.
You never wanted that.
Nah. That's why I say my psychology is different.
But where do you think that comes from? Because that's not like
because I never had a father to instill certain things. If my father was like, don't get me wrong, I've spoken to his other offsprings, and they're like, yeah, he was a great man, this and that. And like, I'm at a point where the time where it mattered to instill certain things in me or to be guided mentally with certain things, that part is gone. So my mentality is based off on my own natural, what I've picked up in life. We're like, all right, cool. This never happened to me, so I don't care about that no more. Yeah, I don't care, do you know what I mean? But I get what you're saying, like, and I empathize with you, and I get you, like, yeah, you want, because you've lived that life. You got your parents in your life. That's amazing. That's beautiful. You've seen your father build something with your mum. You know what I'm saying? You've had that household. I ain't never experienced that. You understand? I've experienced what I've experienced is a mum that was absent because she had to go and grind because she had me young. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that now. I was in my grandma who was already like doing her own thing. So obviously I'm just out here gallivanting, blood. So my psychology is different. My thing is, all right, cool. I'm out here gallivanting. My mum's a hustler. Cool. I'm going to grind as well. You know what I mean? So it's not something that's been instilled in me. And it's not to say it's too late to change my psychology or whatever, but I just don't care now. You know what I'm trying to say? Is to me,
you're past that stage of
I'm
caring.
past that stage, exactly.
Yeah,
but when I see other people experience and living in that reality, it's great. Like, big up you, man. Like, that's awesome. I wish you guys all the best. But for me personally, it's never been a life goal or a mission, do you know what I mean? But again, back to my son, like, I felt like his existence in this reality was a blessing for me because I got to give to him what my father failed to give to me. And like I said, I'm not the father that I wish to be right now, but inshallah, blood, I will, you know what I mean? I will, when this uncultured swine decides to, you know what I'm trying to say?
No, I hear that. Listen, big you up.
Thank you, man.
Having a kid, I've not got kids, but having a kid, I can imagine no one prepares for a kid.
No, for real,
I've had women say to me, oh, you ready to have babies? Well, you can never prepare for that.
Yeah, for real.
No matter how much money you got, no matter what life you got, no one can prep you. No one teaches you how to be a dad.
100%. You got to learn
Every dad is different. You got to learn on the job.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? This video is sponsored by Aspen Morris Solicitors. Aspen Morris is an award-winning law firm with offices in North London and Central London. They deal with a range of areas, including property, litigation, and criminal matters. If you want to get in touch with one of the best law firms in the whole of the UK, get in touch and let Aspen Morris deal with all your problems right now. For you, I want to move a little bit on now. Let's move to your school life.
Yeah.
What was school? Was you always a big kid?
I wouldn't say so, No? I wouldn't say so. Maybe I was tall.
Okay.
So I went to school in Ghana. So I, born and bred in Ghana. And then my mum brought me here to Northwest London, and my primary school, I started year 4 in Kingsbury Green Primary School. And then that was a culture change. Obviously, that was a culture shock, if you will, because obviously, like, I wasn't speaking like I am now. What are you talking about? Excuse me, you know what I mean?
You was a freshie,
I
so they
was
say.
fresh off the boat, cause greenhorn, like whatever you want to call it. So obviously, I'm trying to. The one thing I recognize about myself is I can adapt. I'm a water sign, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the spaces, you know what I'm saying? So I listen and learn. I'm a student in the game, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm learning, fam. So I adapted quickly, you know what I'm trying to say, which was good. So school was definitely, as far as I can remember, it wasn't really, I wasn't like, I didn't feel out of place too tough. But the other students did make me feel out of place because as an African, I'm an African, you know what I mean? I'm not speaking the way you lot are speaking. So there's going to be some teasing there. There's going to be some bullying there. But it's so deep because I said to you, I did not have these concepts of bullying back in Ghana. I had no education of nothing. I knew nothing about nothing. So
everyone's the same.
Do you know what I mean? So when guys were taking the piss out of me, I'm like, oh yeah?
You think they're just being friendly, having jokes with you?
You know what I'm trying to say? But then when I think back, I'm like, that man there took man for a dickhead. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know, you live and you learn. So school was fun. I enjoyed school.
Secondary school. At primary school, fair enough. You don't know what's going on. You're learning. You're learning life space. You're learning in the UK. UK is different to any country in the world.
Exactly.
When you went to secondary school and you become... It was a bit more normalised to be here. Yeah. You learn how to be the man again. Yeah. The man. Yeah. What's things like? What I'm trying to ask, let me be straight up. Did you have any dramas in school?
Oh yeah, 100.
What kind of dramas did you have in school?
100 drama over over the fact that I'm African.
Okay, racism?
I would say that discrimination, you like whatever. I don't remember exactly, but I just know that there was some discrimination because I was African. You know what I mean? And my name, so to speak, you know what I mean? People couldn't pronounce my name, so every time I'm having to fight for people to just pronounce my name properly. You know what I'm trying to say? All of that stuff. And I'm naturally, I'm a very quiet person, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't care about friends. I've never cared about friends. You know what I'm trying to say? So I can exist in solitude and be content. I will speak with myself. You know what I'm saying? I can go within myself and have conversations with myself and do what I need to do for myself. And I will laugh with myself. I'll talk with myself. And that was weird for the kids, them to see. Because I remember this one occasion in high school when I was, I had friends at the time. They would go off and play football. I've never been interested in football. I hate football, fam. I don't care about it. Then they would play football and I'll just be somewhere gallivanting, doing my own thing. And I remember there was a group that was standing over there and they were like, are you all right? Like, because they see man chatting to myself and giggling to myself, like, are you all right? Not for this guy's insane, blood. This guy's finished, blood. So yeah, man, that's just been me. So like, I had dramas, and one of the dramas being moving from London to Milton Keynes, going to a school, a non-uniform school at the time, as a youth. You're coming from a household where my mum don't care about luxuries, Nikes and all this shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to school with Asda branded clothes and I don't have your JDs and your nice sportswear. Like, people take the piss out of that, you know what I'm trying to say? And at the time, I'm just timid, fam. I'm cool. My nature is like, I'm doing my own thing, fam. But kids are just pussies, fam. You know what I'm saying? They will take the piss out of you, and that was what happened, you know what I mean? But then I reached a point where I was like, you know what? Boom, yeah? I'm going to bang you in your face, fam. If you ever talk my name, you get what I'm saying? That was it. And I just went through a metamorphosis, just the fire, like, was like, cool. I'm going to protect this inner child, you know what I mean? And again, that's what led to actually training, fam. Because, this body of mine is not to impose my will on anyone. It's actually to protect my inner child. You know what I'm trying to say? Just to protect myself. Like, when you said that, like, at the start, what did you say to me? When you see me in the dark alley where you don't want to, cool. That's exactly that. I want people to leave me the fuck alone, fam. You know what I'm trying to say?
Do you think you've trained so hard, got so big, and become the man you are today because you're worried about people trying to disrespect you back when you was like how you was when you was younger?
Yeah. Now, that was a contributing factor, but that's changed now. No, that was a contributing factor. It's like, cool. I mean, I didn't start training until I was like 13, 14, because my uncle used to just bang weights at home. So I saw that, and that influenced me. You know what I mean? So at a young age, unable to go to the gym, I made up like, I would fill suitcases up with things, and I'll just, you know,
for real, just lift it.
literally lift it. So and again, this reflects in my content creating. I don't know if you see my content, but
I've followed you for years.
Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you. But like fridges, stuff like that, fridges, using household stuff as weights, like just improvising. You know what I'm trying to say? That's been something I've been doing for years. It's not because I want to create content now I'm starting to use that, but before there was social media, I've been doing that. You know what I mean? I remember going to my new house and there was a rusty engine, like an old engine. And I remember doing, do you know what I'm trying to say? I'll use that to work out. So this has been me because I understand that I've always loved to train, and I've always admired the bodybuilders of old. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sergio Oliva, you know, all these great golden era bodybuilders, do you know what I mean? So I've admired that. But back to your question, it's never been like, I'm gonna, in the beginning it was like, alright, cool, I want to protect myself, so let me get wham, like but this is that ego, you know what I'm trying to say? This is that ego that a lot of gym man have, you know what I mean? Because man think they're wham, cool, already they're the top dogs. But I learned quickly that it's not that, you know what I'm saying? You can't just work on the physical and neglect the mental, because a lot of these, you find that a lot of physically imposing men, they're actually babies, fam, mentally, you know what I mean? You stick it on them and they'll crumble, you know what I'm saying? So I had to let that go, detach from that, and actually sit with myself and be like, cuz, like, work on your mind, and dive deeper within yourself and do the inner work, etc., etc. Do you know what I mean? And as much as training was to protect this inner child, it was also just to channel my fire, because I've been misguided, you know what I mean? More so, it's my own doing, you know what I mean? Obviously following a certain crowd because I want to be respected, because, you know what I mean, you see the elders, you know, having a certain level of respect, and you think, all right, cool, man's doing that, so I want to follow suit, and not having my own identity. You start to take on pieces from here and there, and then next thing you know, you're not even yourself. So years and years I've sat with myself and said, that's not me. All right, cool, let me peel back layers that I've adopted from this person. This is not me. I know I'm a gentle person. I know that I'm actually just calm. I just want to vibes out. I want to chill. I want to have a good time. I want to banter, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was good because having walked that life, I'm streetwise now. So a man can't ever try to take me for a dickhead. I don't always need to impose my will on anyone. I don't need to impose any sort of like shit energy. I'll give you amazing energy. I will give you like, yo, you're my brother. I will take you in like that. Do you know what I mean? But don't step on my toes, bruv. You know what I mean? Don't
cross that boundary.
Don't cross that boundary. You know what I mean? So that's why I always keep that. Anyway.
You said to me you walked that path of life.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? What path did you go down?
You know, as a kid, bruv. So at 13, 14, 15, 16, yeah, just hanging out with the wrong people, you know, and again, wanting a certain level of acceptance, not knowing oneself. So then you think to yourself, I want to be accepted too. Oh, rah, these men are doing this. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. This is what it takes then. You know what I'm trying to say? And so then you just, you know, man, start doing certain things that my mother would never agree on. Like, I mean, big up to my...
you know I'm going to dive into it. I know you are.
Like what? And I'm not opposed to sharing that, you know, banking school. Again, it's minor things. It's minor things, but my mum would never have agreed to that. You know what I mean? She would have definitely whooped my ass, but like banking school or, you know, blazing or wherever, and fighting, you know, going on eats, wherever, doing little robberies here and there. You know, I'm not even proud to say this shit. I'm so embarrassed right now, you know what I'm saying? But this is something that I've dabbled in, and it's like I've just detached myself completely from that, you know, with training, etc. Do you know what I'm saying? But these are things that man experienced and took part in with the crowd that I was with, you know what I'm trying to say?
Do you know what it is? The reason I'm asking it is because everything you've told me today, I'm now expecting to hear, and I was sentenced to prison for 25 years. Do you know what I mean? Not in the sense as...
it could have been 6 years.
No father figure.
Yeah.
No, I didn't care about family. I didn't care about nothing. I drove my own man. I wanted to do it. Yeah. You're a big guy.
Yeah.
Going down that route can end in a very dark path.
100% it did. It nearly did. But that's the thing. So having these experiences, like I said, I need you to understand that I didn't come from a bad household. My mum did everything possible she could to make sure I did not end up in certain situations. But I self-sabotage. I wanted to do that. I put myself in that situation. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, I came from my mum didn't do. My mum did amazing, but it was because of my own ego, my own lack of finding my self-identity, my lack of identity that led me down certain paths. So life has a way of giving you an experience for a taste. Like, yo, if you don't fix up, this is what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So in my ignorance, me and the man them done a move.
What happened?
Bruv, it was just violence. And you bust a mad move, violence was involved. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too deep into it or whatever. And then stupidly, we didn't go home straight away. And the man ended up getting bagged. You know what I'm trying to say? And then first time I ever got bagged. You know what I mean? So as an African child, like, I'm thinking, shit.
You're not worried about the police. You're worried about your mum.
My mum, how do you know? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a toss about the Fed man there. You get me? My mum, I'm thinking, my mum's going to kill me, blood. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I feel so bad now reflecting, putting my mum through that ordeal because, like I said, my mum is my biggest cheerleader, bro. Like, even talking like this, you could say to my mum, yo, your son. You'd be like, what, my son? My son, never. You know what I mean? My mum...
You're
like,
a golden child. You're everything to her.
Exactly. So at the time, I didn't understand this because ignorance, you know what I'm saying? So...
How old was you when you got arrested?
That's 16. I was actually 16. I remember 2009. You know what I mean? That year, 2009. I remember, like, I wouldn't say it was traumatic. It was not traumatic. It was a great experience. I needed that.
It was a great experience.
It was a great experience.
The first time I heard someone come on my show and say getting mixed was a great experience.
It was a great experience. Not to glorify it, but it taught me a lesson.
Yeah.
Now that I'm grown and with a certain level of awareness, I can look back and be like, rah, I'm glad that happened to me, because if it did not happen to me, fuck knows where I would have been. You know what I mean? Only the higher powers know where I would have been. I would have probably gotten a bigger bird, or I wouldn't be here speaking with you. And so I give thanks to even be sitting here with you, having this conversation. Do you know what I mean? Because like I said, the universe works in mysterious ways. It's like, all right, cool, listen, you better fix up. We're going to give you a little taste of what could happen if you don't fix up. And that's what happened. We bust a mad move, didn't go home, got bagged, court case. All right, cool, you're going to have to serve a custodial sentence. You know what I mean? Them man are talking about 6 years because obviously there was violence involved. But luckily for me at the time as a minor, and that was my first offense. And that was my first time ever being arrested. And I was in college at the time. So a lot of things went in my favor in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? My solicitor was like, look, he's doing well in college. He's doing this and that. His tutors love him. You know, I was leading a bit of a double life, because at home I'm like this, you know, prodigal son. I'm this amazing kid who's looking after my siblings, changing nappies, and out here I'm just like, you know what I mean? So that went in my favor. But the judge was like, look, you're going to have to serve this custodial sentence because of, you know, the severity of what happened, because people did get hurt. You know what I'm trying to say? And so I did my thing. And
how long did you get?
It was only 4 months, but that 4 months, I did 2 months. You know, youth offenders.
What was prison like for you?
It was fun.
Do you know what it is? The reason I ask, because youth offenders, every guest I've ever interviewed who's gone says it's just a madness. It's just fun. Really? Everyone from the hood there. We link up with everyone. Yeah. Everyone's got a point to prove. Yeah. Prison is different.
It's different, yeah.
But youth offenders,
it's just a camp. It's boot camp, basically.
It's just everyone's on madness.
To be honest, so when I went there was no madness for me, because I feel like I'm so blessed to have this energy where, fortunately, people just take to man in a very positive light. You know what I'm saying? It speaks to my character as well, because I'm not that person, fam. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be a bad man. I'm trying to be a gangster. I don't care about any of that. I've got nothing to prove to nobody. You know? I just want to do my music, chill out, vibes out, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you got to have a bit of fire in you, because you can't let a man step on your toes and do whatever, because if you let a man do that, of course, they're going to, do you know what I'm trying to say, go all the way and take you for a dickhead. But at the same time, when I was in the youth offenders, I never had no trouble. The only trouble I had was when I went in there for the first time, I mind my business, and then you try to stick it on me, and I said to him, my brother, I still bang you in your face. You know what I'm trying to say? But at the time, I was scared. I was shook. But if it was fear that made me say that, because I know in that environment, ego runs rampant. You know what I'm trying to say? And a man is trying to stick it on me because I'm obviously taller. You know what I mean? They called me ringer in there because I was of size, you know, more of size than the other guys. But I wasn't like wham or anything. I hadn't been really doing gym like that, but I was tall and...
You were still big.
Big, yeah, exactly. I was a big youth, so they called me ringer, but I think my size was a bit of a deterrent, and the fact that I was just like the first time on social, man, are like trying to stick it on me. I'm like, bro, I still bang you in your face, but I had to do that. You know what I mean? Not to assert no type of dominance, but it's like, bruv, I'm the Sharks. I'm gonna have to, you know what I mean? And if whatever happens after, cool.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm not trying to prove that I'm a G. I'm a gangster. Even and after that, you that did that, we're good friends, bruv.
For real,
100%. I remember we're good friends. Everyone was like, all right, cool, yeah, that's that, brother. That's
usually how the best of friendships work.
Honestly,
you usually start hating each other, and then that's your man.
Honestly, after that, it was a vibe, cuz everybody, I was loud. I was like the loudest in there, because that's just me. I'll come like, yeah, what? Oh, here comes this guy. Like, do you know what I mean? It was like that. So for the 2 months, it was just bants, man. It was literally just bants, and as long as I mind my business, people left me alone, you know what I'm saying?
When you come out of youth offenders,
I said to my mum, sign me up to a gym. I was turning 17.
Was you done with all the road life?
I was over it, bruv.
You said, that's it. I learned my lesson. Yeah. I'm not about that.
Yeah.
Stick me in the gym.
100%. It taught me a lot. Like I said, it's just boot camp. So it taught me a lot about discipline, because prior to that, I never knew anything about routine. You know what I'm saying? So waking up in the morning, make your bed, go to education, come back, chill, lunch, whatever. Do you know what I mean? I kept that with me when I was outside. Up until now, when I rise with the sun, I still gotta make my bed. That's how I start my day. Every time I gotta lay my bed, like it's artwork for me. It's almost like meditation. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's what I gotta do, and I have a whole morning routine, fam. You know what I'm trying to say? So they talk about rehabilitation. That was definitely rehabilitation, because I took so much from that, you know what I mean, the routine, to the point where when it comes to bodybuilding, fam, yeah, it's routine as well. You can't wish to be successful in having a certain level of strength or being of a certain size if you don't have discipline and if you don't have a routine. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, obviously I came out, I got a job, I started working. I said to mum, yo, sign me up to a gym. The first gym that she signed me up to was DW, I remember. And then when I went in there, I was like, yeah, boom, this is what I want to do. I didn't know that I was going to be, you know, doing bodybuilding competitions or be on social media doing whatever I was doing, but I just knew this is such a great way for me to channel my fire. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's exactly what I did. I just stayed in there. And as the years progressed, I became a bit more clued up with nutrition and supplementation. At the start, I wasn't even taking no supplements. I was just eating, you know what I'm saying? Just eating. And, you know, sticking to my routine. And long story short, moving forward.
How did social media start for you?
My friend, Jimmy.
Okay.
Jimmy, you know, I always got to sing this guy's praises, man. Every time people ask me how did social media start, it was Jimmy, bruv. This brother, like, I remember just training, and he was like, fam, you're sick. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? Me?
All self-taught?
All self-taught, yeah. Of course, I've had OGs in the game that I've learned a lot from. You know, at one point, I was training with these two French brothers, Etienne and Abis. Big up to them guys there. My absolute respect to these brothers. They taught me a lot of techniques and tips that I still use now, and which I've passed on to people, you know, when I personal trained them. But yeah, in terms of dieting and supplementation use, I had no clue, even in down to having a gym routine. Yeah. It was Simeon Panda that I learned that from, you know what I mean? Because I remember I had, obviously, I'm a few years deep in now with training. You know, I'm just doing my thing. The first time I went in the gym, I was doing everything. I was a
full body every day.
Full body every day. Listen, cause and it wasn't like, like start light, bruv. I've as far as I can remember, I've always thrown myself in the deep end. You know what I mean? With everything. So it's like, cool. All right, when it comes to legs, leg press, all right, cool. Slap it on. If I can lift it, that's good. Let's put on some more. Oh, I can't lift that. All right, let's cool. That's how that. Let's decrease the weight.
You're just pushing yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I gauge my my limitations. You know what I mean? All right, cool. I can't do that now, but next week I definitely got this. Do you know what I mean? So that's my approach to training. As opposed to some people, they're very scientific and technical. I've never been scientific and technical. I've never known nothing. I've just been like, go in the gym, train insane, get the fuck out, go eat food, rest, repeat. And that's me. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, man, like discipline coming out of that, you know, that youth offenders, discipline was something that I took from that place, and I put that into bodybuilding, do you know what I mean? And like I said, at the time, Simeon Panda was somebody who was blowing up, and the French brothers that I was training with, I remember he showed me a picture of Simeon. I was like, bro, I want to be like this guy. So then I started doing my research on him, and he had like a template online. He would post his workout plan. So this is where I got my eight sets and, you know, 4 exercises, go in the gym, 4 exercises, do 8 sets, pyramid sets. This is when I started learning about pyramid sets and started really looking into doing my research and learning about stuff and that. And even with supplementation, like I said, I've never been one for protein shakes and all of these things and steroids and rare tete. I've never been one for that. You know what I'm trying to say? Even though motherfuckers are always like, accusing me of steroid use, I've never been involved in that. Up until now, I don't take protein shakes.
We'll touch on that after.
We'll touch on that, yeah, 100%. We
We
can have a full conversation about that, but I want to give a big shout out to Jimmy, who started the social media thing for me.
How quick did it take you till you blew up? Because right now we're on about 450,000 followers.
Yeah, about that.
What did you post that was your first big bang?
Yeah, I remember it was, like I said, my approach has always been raw. Just train raw, innit? So I remember making one, I put one video up in my old gym, and I had 120 on a bar, and I was basically doing a 1-rep workout. It was like, all right, cool. Bench, put the thing on my knee, do some deadlifts into shoulder press, into this and that. And then at the time, it had not been seen before. You know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, now we're in a different climate where motherfuckers are doing very different things. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, that was so unheard of and unseen. And when I put that up, it was like, rah, that really went far. You know what I'm saying? And then I kept on kind of doing more like raw videos of just man lifting heavy and, you know, training raw and not making it clean cut, but just once I film it, film the shit, just slap it up. That's me. You know what I mean? I don't care about the clean cut type of shit. I'm just like, just raw and gritty. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's when I feel like that really took off from that one piece of content. You know what I'm trying to say? And then obviously as a creative, I thought, you know what, let me get a bit creative with it, because initially I wanted to be an artist, man. I just wanted to draw. I draw, you know what I'm saying? I done art and design in college. My favorite subject was observational drawing, which is, you can look at this. I'll look at this and I'll just draw it with a pencil. And then, you know, I never went to uni or anything, but I knew that I loved drawing. So I kind of like learned to hone my own style over the years, and you know what I'm trying to say? So this is what I wanted to do. But Jimmy came along now. He was like, bruv, you're sick. Big up Jimmy every time. Respect to Jimmy and his family. Like, yeah, you're sick, fam. Like, just put it up. I said, bruv, I just want to be an artist because I don't want the drama. I don't want to be in the limelight because allow me, fam. He said, no, bun that. I'm going to make you your Instagram. Just send me videos. And then that's how it started.
What was the first Instagram name you had?
It was, what was it? It's always been Armz. It's always been Armz.
Where did Armz korleone come from?
Again, Armz house fighting, you know what I mean? And I'm a bit embarrassed to say this, but over the years, people have been like, oh, did you get arms because you got big arms? And because I've been embarrassed to actually explain the true reason of arms, I've always said yes, but arms is not because, man, I got big arms. That's a bit corny, fam. It's just because slang, Armz house, this is what we was about. You know what I mean? Me and my band, them, like, we just out here, just, any like 2007, 2008, 2009, them years there, oh my God, like just the wrong look could just activate something, you know what I mean? What my man could not even like, he don't mean nothing, but just a one quick glance, oh, okay, cool, let's start something, do you know what I mean? But we just are brave and broke young kids, we're just out here trying to cause trouble, just a bit of fun at the time, but now I reflect, it's like, it's just silly shit, you know what I'm trying to say? So Armz, that it just came from that Armz house, and then korleone. I've always been a fan of these, you know, mafia type stuff, you know, the Godfather type of shit. So I just added that, and then I just ran with it, fam. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to put my government. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I didn't want to be out here. I didn't actually want to be famous. I don't care about fame. I don't care about limelight. That's why I said, oh, Armz korleone, boom.
Did you love the road life?
Did I love the road life? It was fun. Excuse me, because you need to understand the time that I grew, that I was coming up and doing whatever I was doing, I was just a young buck, 15, 16, 17, just having a bit of fun with the man them. This is what it was. This was our way of channeling our fire. You know what I mean? Man is yo, we saying, what you on today? Man's got school now, bun that, come kick it with the man them, go to my man's house, cool, kick back, blaze a little scud or something, you know what I'm saying, just chill out and just, do whatever, you know what I'm saying. And at the time I was sitting with the South Youths, and the South Youths, they just wayward cuz, you know what I'm trying to say? Active cuz, you know what I mean? My first brethren was from North, but he was cool. But then it was with the South Youths that, everything was just a bit more deeper. So I'll just go chill with the South guys, and then it was just like, yo, calm, yeah, we just do what we're doing, go bust 1, 2 little move here and there. Oh shit, helicopter, run. Oh my god, yeah. I said
helicopter.
Oh, bruv. And the question, was it fun at the time? I would say yes, but looking back now, it's not something that you, as a young man, you'd call proud of or call fun. You need elders that are gonna be like, listen, there's more to life than the hood. You get me? There's a whole world out there. Go out there and expand your mind. You know what I mean? Go to the
well, look at yourself now. You make money from posting pictures to social media, making videos of you in the gym, and you're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Back then, you was doing everything you had to do
to make dough,
risking your freedom to make dough.
Yeah.
Now you go to a gym, you make a video, you post it, you get paid.
Yeah.
Back then, you could never imagine that. If someone said to you, yo, listen, in 5 years' time, you're going to be in a gym posting videos and getting paid, you're going to say, shut up, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
So, life is different now.
Life is different, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. That's the message I want to give out. Every time I speak, every time I do, that's the intention of me being on these platforms. It's not to show off and be like, oh, raw, look at how much man can lift, or look at man's body. It's none of that. It's like, of course, people don't know my story. People don't know where I've come from, but that's why I put so much energy into what I do, because I know how much it's saved my life. You know what I mean? And this is why I preach of discipline. This is why I preach of just having a holistic life. You know what I'm saying? This, because health is wealth, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a platform and just be, giving off shit, like having a shit message to give, bro. My thing to the youths is like, I want to be the guidance that I never had for these youths, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, there's a whole life out there. You can do whatever you want and you can still be successful. And I mean, we're already successful to the point where it's like, to sit here with you and converse with you, we're successful already. To see you, to see these people in the room, to be able to move my arms, my fingers, to even walk on my own 2 feet, that's success, cuz, you know what I'm saying? So you have to like, remember that, you know what I'm saying? But then if you want the other stuff, cool, then, it's a whole different ball game, bruv. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
One thing I want to touch on.
Yeah.
One very big part of your life, steroids.
Steroids, yeah. Go on.
Are you natural?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And listen, you can put the money where your mouth is, and you can test me any day, any time, wherever, blood test, hair follicle test, and I guarantee you I will pass. You know what I'm saying?
Never taken steroids.
Never taken steroids.
Never been on tablets, never been on any form of steroid.
No, I don't know about steroids. I don't know. All I know is, you get a syringe and you slap it in your bum and that's it. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to steroids, bruv, I am not involved. The only thing I've taken, creatine, whey protein, L-glutamine, BCAAs, but even then now I don't take that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? I've never been motivated to take steroids despite whatever you may have heard online, or despite whatever this company is saying that, oh, your man's been busted for this, that. Bruv,
I've got to ask the questions for the people.
100%.
You got busted or tested for steroids and you come up positive, and you got a 4-year ban.
Yeah.
For someone who's sit opposite me saying, I've never taken steroids.
Yeah, it's obviously, You've
had a professional company test you. It was at the Anti-Doping Society tested you.
But I've had cancer test me as well.
I hear that.
Yeah.
When you got tested for the Misfits, you got banned for 4 years.
Yeah, but I'm not really banned. I can fight anytime. I've had fights opportunities since then.
I hear that, but how did they come back and ban you for 4 years? Say you come back positive on steroids if you've never taken something.
But that's the thing. I don't know. When I got the call like, yo, you've been popped, I was like, okay, what does that even mean? So, they found testosterone in your system. I'm like, what do you mean they found testosterone? But I've never taken any type of steroids, no PEDs, no whatever you call it. Do you know what I mean? To go to a ring to brack up a man. You know what I'm saying? Your guess is as good as mine, because I can't sit here and be like, I've got nothing to gain.
Yeah, but being someone who's involved in the bodybuilding scene,
Yes,
and
steroids is used. I know
I hear
this
that, but
100%.
being someone who's a lifetime natural,
Yeah.
and it's your job to give off, I'm a natural bodybuilder.
Yeah.
If someone comes around and says you've taken steroids, it's ruining your image.
100%. But that's the thing. I don't care. I don't have an image because I don't do this for the validation of anybody. I didn't start doing this to have an image. I've just sat here and told you the reason why I've been doing this, why I train, and where social media started for me. So it wasn't like I woke up one day and thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to come on social media and tell these man that I'm actually natural. Wow, I'm actually juiced the fuck out my nuts, you know what I'm saying? And just for what reason? That's not me. My reasoning for coming on social media or training is so different to gaining validation or an egotistical thing. So in terms of image, I don't give a toss. You know what I'm saying? That's why I never came out and I thought, my focus probably thought I was going to come and do a Tyrese thing and be crying on social media and doing a YouTube. But bruv, it was management that was like, you know what? There are people who believe in you and they respect you. Speak, say something. And I briefly said something and I left it at that. I can't tell you why that happened. You know what I mean? I cannot sit here and actually tell you why that happened. I know the reason now, and I've got information on me where it's like, man, I emailed me saying at this moment in time, the test has not proven positive. I can show you that. I've got evidence for that. The company that are out here saying, yeah, cool, man's taking this, they've sent me an email saying at this moment in time, you have not been tested positive, but they've gone on Twitter and posted that I've been busted for something.
Because the press release was normal testosterone levels are 4-1. Yours was 34-1.
I don't even know what that means, but go on, yeah.
I've just read it from what the numbers I've read online.
Yeah,
so
of course.
When they've come out and released that, my understanding, if I'm in your shoes, I'm going to do everything in my power to prove to these people, you lot are chatting shit.
Yeah,
I'm getting tested the same day. I'm proving you lot are wrong.
Yeah, but I did get tested. And when I did get tested by Cansford, you know what I mean? And I got the results here, you know what I'm saying? I can show you, you know what I'm saying? I got the results. And I tried to, they were like, oh, you're going to do a hearing, which was a fucking Zoom call. Some bullshit, blah, blah. Honestly, it was a joke. But I understand why they did what they did. And I'm not going to get into that because it's all politics, you know what I mean? But I understand what they did. We can have a conversation off screen. That's all good. But I'm not going to sit here and just, you know, chat shit. But this is entertainment at the end of the day. You need to understand, man's not your Anthony Joshua. Man's not, you know what I mean? This is nothing. You know what I mean? These people that are talking about man's been banned for 4 years, they can never hold me back from fighting. So you've not been banned? That, according to them, I'm banned. But if I wanted to fight tomorrow, I can fight tomorrow. Okay. You understand? Yeah. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
So you are legally allowed to fight?
I can fight any day. Fair you understand? I've had opportunities to go to Qatar to fight. The only reason I did not fight is because the money was not right. And again, like you say, this kind of shit is going to, you know, in the entertainment world, in the consumerism world, people are going to just buy into this shit, get sucked in, and they're going to chat shit. And, you know, then they're not... I'm in this thing, seeing everything. I knew that it was going to come out. I already knew. You understand? I already knew. Before everything came out, before this whole madness, whatever, I already knew. Everything has just been orchestrated, you know what I'm saying? But it's just entertainment and it's just a bit of hype, and I kept quiet to let everything run. I don't need to come out here and prove anything to nobody because I know myself. I understand that there are people that are going to be saying this and that on my name, but again, I'm not going to like sit here and try to justify myself because I'm not on steroids, bruv. I've never taken that shit. And like I said, if anybody out there wants to test me, wants to make content out of it, put your money where your mouth is, hair follicle test, blood test, whatever, any day. Get yourself a credible testing company, and we can do that all day long. And when it comes out that I don't flop the test, I get to bang you in your belly 3 times, bruv. 3 body shots, blood. You get what I'm saying? And bruv, that's the thing. So, like, the reason why I didn't come out to say anything or I didn't really speak about it is because I know myself, I don't care, and I understand that these people don't live the life that I've lived. They have not lived my life. So these are just consumers. These are people that are being entertained, you know what I mean? They just want any distraction from their miserable lives or whatever. They you know what I mean? It's entertainment. We live in Caesar's world, like, you know what I'm saying? This is entertainment. So I'm like, cool, is what it is. Like, I'm gonna let it roll, but on a personal one, I know me and I'm gonna continue doing me. It doesn't affect me anyway.
I respect that.
Yeah, man.
Talking on entertainment, you had a fight with Bouncer.
Yes. Yeah.
We recently had Bouncer on our show.
Excuse me, yeah.
I know I will knock out Armz. I know I will knock out Armz. One of us will get knocked out because we need to give the people what they need.
What's your response to that?
Everybody can talk the nonsense when they're out here, but when they're actually in a ring in front of, you know, someone trying to take your head off your shoulders, like, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I can sit here and be like, I can mash up Canelo, I can mash up this, I can mash up this person, but until man's in a blood clot like ring, it's a whole different ball game. So he can run his mouth. He's been running his mouth for years since after that first fight. And I know.
Would you fight him again?
Of course, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Yo, I want to do this thing because we've had conversations. You know what I'm saying? We've had conversations. And it's one thing to understand, he's not my friend or my enemy. You know what I'm saying? But he's somebody who I've done bad business with. You understand? And it needs to be sorted.
Why would you call it bad business?
It's bad business because at the time, I didn't have the team that I have now. You know, when it came to the contracts and whatnot, I can sit here and blame him for being shady or snaky, but I've got to take accountability for my inability to read the contract and having, you know, yes men in my corner. You know what I'm saying? So it was bad business because I wasn't well equipped. I didn't have the resources to make sure that it was above board. But now I do. I
respect the fact that you take accountability for that, because many people would sit there and say, oh, it's Bouncer's fault. He was shady, he was this, he was that.
Listen, like, nah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, but, you know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I never did, because when the smoke cleared, you know, so to speak, when the smoke cleared, I was like, I had to really sit with myself and really deep what just happened. And, you know, he may have had his intentions. He may have had, you know, his ulterior motives or whatever. But it's up to me to see these things, to be the smarter person. You know what I mean? To recognize a shark when I see one. You know what I'm saying? He's just a businessman trying to do whatever he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And he's just, you know, happy to see that I was this brother that he could obviously, you know, do certain things with. And, you know what I mean? I didn't have the resources to back myself, but now it's different. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that's like, yo, let's run this thing because we have to do it right. He's embarrassed to even watch the fight back. I see him.
No, he is. He says openly it was a terrible fight.
You know what I'm saying? But why was it terrible? Because you said, blood, yeah, we're gonna go as injured to fuck as I was. You know what I mean? 2 pec tears, knee injuries, Baker cyst. Man, them thinking is a blood clot. Man, having to go on what do you call it, blood thinners or what the fuck you call it. You know what I mean? But I'm still coming out here to do this thing with you, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Whose idea was it to do MMA?
It was my idea. My idea because
you wanted MMA.
Yeah, I wanted MMA because I like the idea of kicking and elbow and red-tete, but I did not understand the nature of MMA.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, brother. I bit off more than I could chew. Definitely. Yeah, you know what I mean? I definitely bit off more than I could chew. And when I big up to Michael Van Page. He's the one that introduced me to MMA. He's the one that introduced me to the London Street Fighters camp. You know, when I was training, when I did the first session, oh my God, I never expected it. I honestly, cuz I did their first warm up, I was like, get me the fuck out of here, fam.
So I train in the gym.
Yeah, nice.
And I box.
Yeah, sick.
I was training in the gym, lifting heavy weights, doing what I was doing, trying to get big. My only goal in life was to get big.
100%.
That was it.
100%.
And I went and started boxing.
Yeah.
Bro.
Different.
Brother.
Different.
After like 2 rounds, I was finished.
100%.
Like people see you walking in, big. I was quite big. Like I was the biggest one walking into the thing.
Of course.
Bro.
It means nothing.
Finished.
It means nothing.
I had little guy just hopping around banging me and I was like,
100%, bro.
I was out, finished, gone. And people don't
me.
understand till they get in the ring. And then you got the built up pressure of people watching you.
Yes.
You had that adrenaline rush and it just flops.
That's it. And I've experienced that to the point where I've had to be carried out the fucking ring.
Yeah. There was one thing I do want to touch on.
Yeah.
Throughout the build-up of the Bouncer fight and you, he was calling you a snitch.
Yeah.
What
Calling
was
me a
all that?
snitch.
Yeah.
Calling me a snitch.
Yeah.
Blood, the whole road just know that he's the snitch out here. How is he gonna call me a snitch? I don't understand, but fuck all that anyway, blood. Listen, it's about time we get up in that ring and do this thing, fam. You know what I mean? So we need to fight. I need to bruck up this you. He's been talking a lot over the years, talking bare shit, like, bruv, shut the fuck up now. Let's just get up in the ring and just sort out with a fist. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do this thing. Mams need to come and just pat in this fight, bruv. Like, Mams, if you're listening,
You want to fight him?
Bruv, do I want to fight him, bruv? Come on, bruv. I could fight him right now. You know what I'm saying? I'll fight him for free, but bun that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to waste my time and, you know, not get paid for this dickhead, fam. You know what I'm trying to say? I know he was on your podcast calling him a pussy and rare, but whatever, innit? You know what I mean?
You reckon
Like,
you knock him out?
bruv, I'll finish this you. You know what I'm
For
saying?
real?
That's what I want to do, fam. You get what I'm saying? But that's what I say, blood. It's easy to sit here and talk shit until we're in the ring. It's a different ball game. But I'm just itching to get up in that ring because I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Mams, blood, if you're watching the scene, I've already spoken to Mams about this because I want to get it cracking ASAP. You know what I'm saying? So I can just, you know, just finish him and just move on with my life because everybody wants this fight. Everywhere I go and it ends, yo, when you gonna run that back with Barman? When you gonna run that back with Bouncer? You're embarrassed to watch your own fight on your own platform. Dickhead, you. Come on, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool, innit? Let's go, bruv.
Bouncer, I know you're watching this, my bro.
You better be
You
watching
said you
this.
want to fight him. He wants to fight
Mams,
you.
let's go, man. Let's do this thing. We've had a little, you know, we've spoken. You know what I mean? We've hashed it out on Tyrone's in TikTok live. Like, bruv, let's allow the talk, man. You know what I mean? He's been talking too much over the years. I've had enough. So let's get it cracking, bruv. I'm ready, man.
You mentioned Mams. You mentioned Misfits.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the Misfits game,
Yeah,
heavyweights
man.
right
You got
now.
Kells, bun them youths there, man. You got Kells. You got Big Tobes. You got Chase D more, like whatever. Like, I don't care about a heavyweight belt. I just want to just have fisticuffs, bruv. I just want to fight, blood. I just want to war, cuz, you know what I mean? There's so much energy that I need to let out, and I want to let out on these youths, blood. You understand? There's a lot of vendettas that I have that I don't want to go down that route because it's not right, it's not good. But yeah, there's a way that I'm channeling this energy, this fire, and I want to put it into my training so I can get ready to just smash up these youths, bruv. You know what I'm saying? These postios, bruv. One them man there, cuz, you know what I'm saying?
Anyone?
Bruv, I don't give a toss. Let's go, bruv. If the money is right, yeah, we can get it cracking, cuz. You know what I'm trying to say? Boom. I'm here for it. But my main thing is the bouncer fight. Let's do it, blood. You get me? Because it's a big fight for the culture. Everybody wants to see this shit. Everybody was disappointed. This you came out hugging, man, like a dickhead, fam. You know what I'm trying to say? We spoke, we said, boom. As injured as I was, you couldn't even do no damage to man. 5 rounds. Had 5 rounds, Reboy. 5 rounds when you're there talking about you're embarrassed to watch the fight back. Dickhead thing, bruv. So cool, innit? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this now. I don't give a shit about winning or losing or dying or living, fam. Let's fucking go, cuz let's just get it cracking, fam. I just want to fight,
Is
bruv.
there personal beef between you and Bouncer?
Nah, man. Like I said, he's not my enemy or my friend. But like I said, when I do something, I want to do it right. I didn't do it right at the time, you know what I'm saying, because I was not in the best physical condition, mental condition. Now I understand the game a lot better. You know what I'm saying? I've been learning on the job. So I don't have any animosity against him. Like I said, bruv, like when the smoke cleared, before the smoke cleared out, you know, I had my ego. My ego was eating at me. My own, like, you know, delusions was eating at me. Shit, you know, I wish I could have done better, rare tear tear. When I do something, I want to do it above board, and I didn't do it above board, but I want to run it again. I'm still alive. I've got health. Let's go, man. This is an opportunity for me to
One
do
thing
it
I
right.
will say from meeting you both is Bouncer's my people, you're my people.
100.
You're both a lot more grown. And I reckon if you two was to fight again, it would be way better than it would have been back then.
100%.
Because you've both understood the sport, you've gone, you've watched it, you've experienced it, you thought, okay, this ain't no joke. And I reckon if you and Bouncer get in the ring and fight now, it'll be
a spectacle.
Yeah, it'll be
We're
something.
gonna do it right. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure I do it right. He's talking about, he's gonna be running in the desert, bruv. The desert ain't gonna give you a hard chin, fam. I'll give you a bang in your chin and you're gonna drop, bruv. You know what I'm saying? The desert ain't gonna give you a conditioned body. I don't give a toss what you're talking about. You can't say certain things to me and think I'm gonna be in my head like feeling some type of way, dog. You know what I mean? Let's get it cracking, fam. You know what I'm trying to say? Let's do this thing. I don't give a toss what you're gonna be doing.
When are you ready to fight?
Bruv, I'm ready to go, man. In the next few months. What are we in? We're in March, right?
End of March now.
Bruv, May. Let's go. May, somewhere in May. I just want Mams to see this thing, Mams to come through with his wizard self and just set it up. Like I said, on what these lot are saying about 4-year ban, cause I can fight anytime. I don't give a toss about these youths, you know what I'm saying? These youths, they're not credible. They ain't nobody, and Mams knows this. You You know what I'm saying? They don't hold no weight. 4-year ban what way? They can't stop, man. You understand?
And the future for Armz?
Future for Armz, it ain't fighting. Like, I don't care about fighting. I just wanna let out some steam. I'll do a few fights, cool, but really and truly, I just want to do my music. You know what I mean? I've been sitting with a few credible artists in the game. You know, my brother Zeph Ellis. You know what I mean? Those who know. You know what I mean? He's been teaching me a lot about the art of music. Like I said, I just want the vibes. You know what I'm saying? I want to do my music. I've got a coaching up coming out soon. And people want to know about what I do, my day-to-day activities, how I train, how I eat, I've got a coaching up coming out. You know, people are going to be able to gain insights to everything that I do. A lot more collaborative content with, you know, high-profile people, YouTube stuff, yeah, and mainly the music and just having fun, peer vibes. You know what I'm saying? That's the future for man. But right now, I'm in war mode, fam. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, man.
Well, listen, my bro, I don't think there's anything else we need to even touch on. I think
Respect,
that's
my
it.
brother.
So listen, Armz, who do you want to fight next?
Listen, who do I want to brock up next? Definitely Bouncer. It's got to be a Bouncer thing. And after that, whoever's on the hit list, Kels, Chase, you know what I mean? Even Dylan Dennis, I know he was in directing, man. You know what I mean? You can't be talking about my gym about and think you're not going to get no repercussions, you understand? So, boy, bruv, listen, I'm in war mode right now. Let's get it cracking, you understand? Let's do this thing.
My bro, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
It's been a pleasure to have you.
I'll see you soon. Guys,
Respect.
make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And get ready.
Make sure, cuz. Otherwise, you're going to get a 1-rep workout at your doorstep right now, fam. You feel me?
Guys, see you in the next one.